traveled from Malaysia to Shanghai. They want to walk away with the third place bounty, the extra prize money, and the prestige of having taken LGD China down on LAN for the Dota 2 Super League third, fourth place decider. Extinct, your Skyearth Mage, very poor. Mushi pulled 6 tangos total by Extinct, and safe lane, it'll be KYXY on the Slark. Orange going with something they've shown us before, the solo mid anti-mage versus an expected melee solo.
Yeah, you want to introduce the rest?
And we'll introduce LGD China as well. Their opponents, DDC, going to be handling the Leshrac DD on the Bane. Yao, playing a hero that we have not seen in quite some time in the Chinese scene. It's the Bounty Hunter. Can he make a resurgence, or will he just fall short? We'll find out. Sylar handling the Alchemist, heading towards the safe lane, probably rushing the Battle Fury. Xiaowei in the mid role. He'll be playing the Darkseer. Can he direct this game? We'll wait and see.
I'm actually surprised to see that they are going to do Slark in the safe lane compared, or I don't know who's going in the off lane for that. I guess it's going to be versus Yao, actually. So that's actually a pretty good matchup for them, although they could switch it around and dump the Bounty Hunter middle versus the Darkseer. I mean, what they do not want to do is Darkseer versus Slark. That is just such a bad matchup for Slark. He'll get demolished. He'll get underleveled and underfarmed. So they need to shy away from that lane at all costs and should rotate if necessary.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to happen, but Orange are going to make an aggressive foray into the enemy jungle. They deploy a Sentry Ward to block the small camp, looking like they're anticipating a jungle Darkseer, potentially, but that's not the case. And Ohio, he'll rotate through the lane here. Will be spotted by an Observer Ward on the Radiant side, and it looks like they'll settle into farming. Well, or either expected jungle Darkseer, or just want to prevent Xiaowei from farming the small camp, I suppose. But it's only a 3-minute. It's only a 3-minute block for that Sentry, which isn't really that long. So seems kind of odd otherwise. And LGD will make that lane switch. You mentioned how it's hard for Slark. Well, he'll have the hard matchup now.
Again, I'm surprised that they're actually going for that. I think it's a really bad matchup for Slark. Regardless, I don't particularly like Skyearth Mage as a support just because I think he really needs levels. Arcane Bolt can do a lot of damage if you can stack up that intelligence. Concussion Shot, I think is good at level 1. He doesn't really need levels for that, but the silence and the magic damage amplification from Ancient Steel is also really level dependent, especially with Ogre. I feel like he really needs that mid roll, but I've seen him work into some lineups successfully in the support role, but usually they have like a clockwork to set up or something very easy to set up for a really disgustingly damaging Mystic Flare.
LGD, they're going to be forced to use 2 Sentry Wards here to de-ward this pull. That's quite costly for them.
They're not even going to de-ward it.
This one does block the spawn, right? I'm pretty sure it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're not de-ward. I guess, are they not sure? Maybe they want to see if it got body blocked.
There's so many different ways you can place it now, especially with the Sentry Wade. Oh, that's just barely sees it. I think it's 750 range now. With it, it's just so much more difficult. Before, you could just place it in one place and see almost every ward, but now you have to waste a couple of them to see it.
The luck is no longer with Net. They're actually making a lane swap here. Mushi rotates top. KYXY looking for a leap. He's going to completely airball it, but Xiaowei has already popped double Ion Shell. He's duking it out against 2 melee heroes. Mushi blinks away with barely any HP, but KYXY goes down. Wow. They needed that leap to latch. And once it didn't, they should have just backed. But they got greedy.
Regen most of it up, and it's going to be a long time until he's level 6 against that lane. But looks like there's still another rotation coming about. Yao will rotate top, and Darkseer, after getting that nice first blood, will TP back home, get his bottle, get his boots, and head back mid.
And now he's doing a lot of work on Mushi. Actually, one of the tougher matchups for anti-mage, especially with that losing all that health early. You can really abuse Janata and Windwalk to harass the anti-mage heavily.
Sylar's not having an easy time on bottom either. He is down to 300 HP, even with a lot of regen, and even with that stout shield.
Mushi is farming well despite the rotation, but he drops very low. Another Janata strike. Yao leveling it up early. We'll see if he actually goes Shuriken build or if he's just going to continue leveling Janata and Windwalk, at least another level or 2. Is great for harassment, but does limit your ganking potential quite a bit. We'll see.
Mushi does have his ring of health, though. That is so important that he was able to get it without spending any more money on regen.
In comes Yao again, though. Every time he hits Mushi, it really stings. He actually uses the last
nice splitter
Shadow Walk to clear out the camp. RNG Sports they've done an alright job in this tri lane. They haven't really allowed LGD to get a single pull going. Now DD, he stacks the camp, he heads towards the 4-minute rune. Overall, Merlini, dead even in terms of gold, even in terms of experience. Mushi is farming, but he's taking a lot of harassment in doing so.
I like Orange's position in this a little bit more. Even though they gave it the first blood, I think that... Oh, is Mushi going to die? Oh my goodness, he is getting low.
Living on the edge. This is where you just really want to ferry a Salvin, so you're not sitting at 100 HP the whole time.
Yeah, I feel that in this lineup, Sylar's just not really getting that much support in this lane, just because they're so busy de-warding it right now. He only has 11 lessons, and he is their safe lane farmer. So I think that Orange is getting a little bit more out of their early game, and yeah, even though KYXY did feed First Blood, he is level 5 right now, and I think he'll be pretty good late game.
Yeah, Ohio's also got phase boots, and his ability to contest gets a lot stronger now. Split Earth from the tree line from DDC. But you can't really go on this Windrunner without the perfect chain stun.
Has phase boots too.
Yeah, already has the phase boots. And LGD, pressure on the mid lane.
Oh, that's going to be... Are they going to find him?
Yeah, this is a tanky support. 700 HP, the sleep comes through.
Oh, DDC does not come up.
He doesn't want any part of that.
He actually went 1-0-1 build, saving his third skill point. Okay, 2 into Lightning right now. Do I think that's a better build than the Edict build? I mean...
Bottom lane, they've gone in on Sylar. They have a stun from net. He's level 2, he doesn't get it off, unfortunately. He held it a bit long, couldn't get in range. And now RNG Sports driven back. Everybody dropping low. Shackle connects, but Sylar still marches forward. He does get the long range lob. Now a Split Earth, actually a Lightning. Almost kills the other two heroes. And meanwhile mid, Xiao 8 jumps up, KYXY leaps down. And Xiao 8 really punishing this Slark. Just tough matchup for him, especially after giving up that first blood.
He's 2 levels behind at this point. It's a really bad idea going on Sylar on the bottom lane, though. He's the tankiest hero. He has a magic stick, he has boots, he has stout shield, he's a strength hero, and although they have a lot of right-click damage from their 2 ranged heroes, it simply isn't enough. They need to go on one of the weaker heroes, whether it be Bane or whether it be the Leshrac. But LGD has been doing a fantastic job of positioning their supports so they aren't in any imminent danger.
Mushi is farming 28 and 4. He's still ahead of that Alchemist by a decent margin, about 400, 500 gold. But Yao has hit level 6, and with this start in the tri-lane, with a good start for Xiao 8 mid, even though LGD might not win in a straight-up farm war, they could win in a kill trading war. Track already online, Yao phase boots up. Mushi is healthy for the time being. Sure, you leave him to farm, but we'll see if he rotates off this lane and looks for any kills. I think it's a bottle coming from now. No. Just a clarity. He's not leaving this lane anytime soon, then.
I think Skywrath is very liable to feed in the mid-late game. He's only level 3 at this point, and with Bounty Hunter getting the farm and the experience that he is, things are looking very dire for those really, really weak intelligence heroes.
And now bottom lane, Sylar, power treads online, feels a little bit more confident about his survivability.
Gank on top.
Yao eats a silence, but they need a big mana void. His mana pool is too small. And that, unfortunately, just didn't work. Meanwhile, they've gone in bottom. Sleep on Ohio. The stun will latch. Now the follow-up. The Split Earth is there. Net. Well, he lobs out a stun, but this is where a hero like Ogre, that's not an Earthshaker. He can't do a whole lot to punish that dive.
Great awareness by LGD there. They noticed that Skywrath was top. As soon as the concussive shot went on, they knew that they were too strong on bottom and immediately went for the kill, even under the protection of the tower. Great awareness by their team.
Yeah, RNG Sports also just needed to play more conservatively, knowing they had one support missing from the lane as well. KYXY has hit level 6 for Orange. Unfortunately, just has Boots, Bottle, Magic Stick. Good news is it's Slark. You don't need too much to start ganking.
I mean, but compare him to Xiao 8.
Or even to Yao. Yao has phase Boots at this point, 32 and 8. Off-lane Bounty Hunter against an Anti-Mage. The early points in Janata and the kill that they got in that lane, it's giving him a great start.
So the supports on LGD are scrambling for levels right now. Level 4 on the Bane and level 4 on the Leshrac. So still around even for Oranges, even though they're in a safe lane. So they're slightly suffering in that area. But now that all those sentries are gone and now that it's nighttime, they have a little bit more control of their jungle. They really need level 6 on the Bane Elemental to start making things happen.
Level 6 for the Bane might come soon, but for Orange's supports, getting level 6 is also important. And Extinct is level 4, but not doing any pulling right now. He's kind of hiding out in the lane. Skywrath Mage, you mentioned he's very level dependent, and particularly you want the Mystic Flare. That's where you can actually start to find some kills in the early to mid game and be useful to your team. He's not a great ganker. at this point. You can throw out a nuke or two, you can throw out the concussive shot, but if you want to gank at this stage, there are simply better heroes. You get him for the silence, and you get him for his burst potential.
I feel like he's really, really good versus squishy heroes or low HP heroes who really rely on spells for defensive abilities, most notably Weaver, sometimes Snakes if you can get it off before Rage, and Queen of Pain Puck he like almost absolutely destroys in a solo 1v1 role. But against a really fluffy hero like Alchemist, he has tons of HP. He can probably just sit in the Mystic Flare with his ult on and just be at half HP, I'd say.
Yao is hunting the courier. He's got Bottle as well as still Healing Salve. It's a little bit too far for him, so he'll back off and he'll reset and reload and head back to the lane. When is he going to get active? Have they just picked him to try and slow down Mushi? Because if they have, I wouldn't say it's working all that well. Mushi is still 52 and 10. He's the second highest farmer in this game, and now that he's had the Reign of Health for a while, the harassment from Yao is significantly less threatening. Throws out a Shuriken.
He is trying really hard.
Couple extra auto attacks. Yeah, driven back for the time being. I wouldn't mind seeing a little bit of pressure from these supports. They do deny the tier 1 mid. Also for this Slark, there's a lot of heroes who could be moving, but they're all just content to farm for the time being. Yep. It's like the Cold War.
There's a big stack here, so looks like, I mean, if I were them, I would give all the experience to the Bane just so he can get it at level 6 and start running around and maybe killing the anti-mage. A lot of pressure. Mushi, I mean, he's...
What experience? They're not killing these creeps. There's too much. They'll need the Dark Seer to rotate in to actually bring them down. Acid Spray, level 2, Sylar, 1600 gold. Is this a Battle Fury game? It's not going to be the fastest ever, but what do you think? Do they just go Shadowblade and focus on pure ganking with the track bonus, or do they look to farm a little bit?
I think they need some insurance. I still think they can pull some ganks off even without a Shadow Blade. They have so many ways to set up. If they can scout out the ganks with a Bounty Hunter, I think they'll be okay in that area. And they need some insurance versus Anti-Mage. Again, Anti-Mage, I mean, he is getting harassed constantly by a Bounty Hunter, but not actually stopping his farm that much. 61 and 10, only out last hit by the Darkseer. But Darkseer has been doing a lot of neutrals, so in terms of their net worth, is still... He's still about 1,000 ahead of the...
The net closes on Yao. He's got a lot of move speed, though. In comes your stun from the Ogre Magi. I think this should be enough. Mono Void's available, but the Phase Brute's keeping him alive. He salves up. He's still running. They need one more auto attack. The last nuke will follow him. He doesn't... He has stick charges soon. He's still running. I think he's going to pop the stick charges, go invisible, and he might live. Is it enough? It's not. KY, XY from downtown.
Wow.
What a power.
That was such a chase. Oh my goodness. Arcane Bolt is so freaking slow.
That spell's painful. Ohio, this is going to be painful too. Vacuum was thrown out during that 1 second of invulnerability from the sleep. Unfortunate. Now he shackles DD. The presence of mind to TP out, but it's only a level 1 shackle. Actually, level 2 wasn't enough. And he does go down. And now we'll take another look at Sylar. He's up to 2,600 gold. He's saving a lot here, probably still debating which item is the right choice.
I feel like they could have gotten away with a different hero other than the Bounty Hunter in the role that they're putting him in right now. All they're doing is just constantly harassing the anti-mage. And I feel like a hero such as Weaver would be exceptional in that role. Just constantly harassing him and still being safe from most ganks. But with Bounty Hunter, you really want track kills. He is 0-1-0. No track kills under his belt thus far.
They're playing lots of games in the jungle. Net's picked up a teleport scroll. He'll have his boots soon at long last, and he does need them. Mushi taking a lot of harassment here. In comes Net, but with no boots, just can't get in range for the stun. Really does need to buy them, and I think he'll lumber back to the side shop and pick them up now.
Slow Ogre.
This is one of those heroes where the low base move speed
he went
makes
Fire
sense.
Blast stats. No Bloodlust. Why not?
Net loves his stats. You were talking about his Sandstorm.
Yeah, dude,
not
Bloodlust is 10% at level 1. That is amazing for level 1 skill.
Well, he does have a pretty crappy monopool, but that's where you get Arcane Boots on someone like the Windrunner or even the Scarlet Mage. I guess the issue is they're not farming at all. These supports for Orange are very, very poor.
Yep, they are creeping.
You compare that to DD. DD's got Arcane Boots and 700 gold. The Leshrac, 600 gold, still more than the supports of Orange. They really could become liabilities. Even the Ogre, he's a bit tankier, but if you can't cast your spells repeatedly in the fights, then you don't offer your team very much.
Yep, again, these weak support, you don't want your supports to be this underfarmed. You want to split it a little bit better, try and get some early towers so they can get brace her up versus a Bounty Hunter. Bounty Hunter with Phase Boots, I mean, he can just own the Skywrath Mage at this point, but we see a smoke rotation from the two supports.
They'll head all the way from top towards bottom. This is a rather, I don't want to say low percentage, but it's a lower percentage gank because you spend so much time moving. They'll actually settle for mid. They get the leap. They'll launch as well. Xiaohui does have mech. Now the counts the ultimate for the Skywrath Mage. It's not enough just yet. He's still alive. He does go down. And the teleport in from DD. He does pop his ult, immediately canceled. Orange starting to snowball this fight. They'll find the Bane. He actually gets a suicide off through the nightmare damage. That was pretty damn lucky. In comes your nuke, but it's not sufficient. And they've even gone Shadowblade on Alk, so they have significantly slowed down their late game in order to find some early kills. 1 point in Greevil's Greed. Sylar wants to get active around the map early. If he can't find those kills, though, this is going to set up Orange for a much stronger mid to late game.
I feel like this is really on the LGD support. Well, Sylar does have a Shadowblade. He's going for a kill on Mushi.
They get the stun. The track is there. Mushi can blink away, but they can chase for a long time. He doesn't get it off. Mid-animation, he falls.
Yeah, I feel like this is really on the supports of LGD as to why they're falling a little bit behind now. Xiao 8 was there in mid, but there were no heroes behind him. Bane's already level 6, Letrak's already level 7. What are they doing still in the jungle? They need to find some kills with Track to try and kill Mushi before he gets his Battle Fury. We've seen AAM carry time and time again, and this is where he is at his weakest.
And DDC has picked up an urn. He is level 7, like you mentioned. Has plenty of levels to get active around the map. And I think for LGD, their bread and butter this game is just going to be Bounty Hunter +1, maybe +2. They don't need to send 5 heroes to one lane to find a kill, but
looks like they will.
They'll smoke. They do have the mech. Xiao 8 with an Ogre Club. Very rich Darkseer. Early BKB rush from him. And they want to start taking some aggressive fights. Mushi still farming the Battle Fury. It is close, but that death was at the perfect moment. They got him right before he would have had his Void Stone.
Yep. Oh, hi. Very close to his mech, too.
It's going to be
smoking behind tower. Look at this aggression.
With the mech, I don't think Orange can team fight them whatsoever.
Yeah, not with this lineup.
So they'll have to split push. They'll have to trade. And during that time, LGD takes some towers. But what LGD really does want is kills. And Yao, with an Iron Shell on him, is going to rotate towards mid. He's got track available. He wants to keep the pressure on Mushi. Anywhere Mushi goes, he'll follow him. It's not true love, though. It's true hate. Yao giving chase.
One more creep kill until his Void Stone.
What an awful time to be brought down to half HP and driven back. Now, however, they found Yao. They've blowed him up, and there's your Mana Void. And Mushi says, F you, man. F you. Take that.
There's his Battle Fury. 16 minutes and 23 seconds, it looks like. Pretty good timing on that.
That must have been very satisfying for Mushi. Nothing is better than killing a bounty hunter who's just been a complete asshole the whole game. That hero is like an asshole by definition, just running around, Janata striking once in a while. Bounty hunters deserve to die. I play bounty hunter too, though.
So looking at the levels on the supports for Orange, let's see, level 6 on net and level 7 on Skywrath Mage. So, I mean, they were quite a few levels behind LGD supports, but they caught up quite nicely after those couple kills in mid, as well as the most recent kill.
Still no points in Bloodlust, and he's taken multicast early. He's going for a semi-carry Ogre bounty.
Gotta get the multis.
Even for a hero like Slark, in fact, every hero, Bloodlust is always good. Move speed is king, and attack speed is almost always useful.
Yeah, I mean, it's not as good as Empower for anti-mage power farming, but it's still pretty darn good.
Yeah. Speaking of Mushi, he's got the Battle Fury. Now he'll work towards his treads. He really rushed this Battle Fury. And not having treads may have cost him that previous death. Otherwise, he may have lived there. We saw most of the Chinese Battle Fury, or Battle Fury builders, most of the Chinese anti-mage players are rushing treads, and then they go back for Battle Fury. Also, Mushi, true to form, he levels up Mana Break. He doesn't take points in stats. His anti-mage is much easier to kill than the one that, say, Sylar or Burning likes to run.
Right. He was very close to escaping me that one time with the solo or with the Alchemist plus the Bounty Hunter. I feel like with just a couple points in stats or maybe a few more branches, I think he could have gotten away with his life. And
Yao's going to find him again. If Mushi uses his blink to move from camp to camp, this could spell trouble. He blinks, but he'll have to just back off. That's where if you're Yao, you're just hoping and praying he blinks into a camp and then has no way out. They would have found him, but he does sense the incoming rotation. Backs off and heads immediately towards the bottom lane.
Xiao 8, invisibility rune in middle.
Is the BKB online yet? Up to 1,900 gold. It's coming fairly soon. Does he have anything on the courier? Not just yet. He'll surge his way forward. Level 2 wall. Very scary Darkseer. Very, very scary Darkseer. So confident they are that DD is just sitting in front of the tower. He does a brain sap to keep him healthy. Yao runs past it, then backs off, and Orange, they'll split push, they'll stall, but they will not look to fight this 5v5. And they're going to get a tier 1 bottom. Glyph, not available. Tower goes to Mushi, now up to 550 gold.
Wow, Alchemist actually canceled his TP. I mean, they might just keep going on bottom lane.
Sylar channeling his stun. He's looking for Ohio. They've got the track vision. It'll nail it. Uh-oh. This looks bad. Ohio vacuum forward into a wall, on top of the wall. Sad place to be. They cut him off with the legs.
Yay, track gold. Everyone gold for LGD.
And LGD work on the tower here. It'll drop quickly. Nice job by Mushi. He's backstabbing the creep wave. The courier's just sitting mid. It's got a drum recipe. Good micro from LGD not to feed that to Mushi. Tower denied by the Skywrath Mage.
I did not know how that happened there. But
Yeah.
Mushi finding good farm even though his team is getting constantly pressured. 1,500 gold, Battle Fury, and Power Treads. He's looking very farm.
He's starting to accelerate his farm. At the same time, he's not even your leader in terms of net worth. That does go to the Alchemist. Sylar now up to 3,600 gold. Does he go BKB here? How desperate do LGD actually feel to end this game? They have track gold. They have one of the better scaling supports in a Bane. Fiend's Grip is always useful late game if you get it off. Darkseer, a pretty good way to do it. The anti-mage can build a Hex later on. Do they need to start really forcing these tier 2s? Will it be a BKB, or can he go for something more damage?
I think they just need to find kills. Regardless of what items he goes, I think it's more overall playstyle as to what they need to do as opposed to item choice. I mean, they have some really weak heroes. Skywrath Mage with just Arcane Boots, 682 HP. That is like a Bounty Hunter's wet dream right there.
This won't be a Bounty Hunter's wet dream if they all come in and pick him off.
They have this ward right here, though, and Yao is sitting outside of invisibility.
Orange looking to pressure the top lane. Yao has gone for the very standard drums build, just phase drums, be as mobile as possible, pretty much permanently haste while track is deployed on nearby heroes.
Darkseer actually has an ultimate orb. I thought he was going for BKB as well, but it looks like he switched mid-build.
It looks like they just feel they need the additional lockdown and that they have to pick off Mushi in these fights, because that's the main hero you would get it for. Top lane, Shackle flies on the Yao, won't connect. And in comes the rotation. Shall wait. He writes the script here. He says, we'll wrap around, we'll pick him off, we'll get him from the backside, guys. Follow me. He surges up one way. Well, the script has a meandering path to it. He heads back into the river. He can't make up his mind. Damn it, shall wait. Now we'll head up. DD's going to lead the way. They'll rotate towards mid. They just want to find a target.
Mushi.
Not Mushi. Not Mushi. Grip is there. Long range grip. There's no defensive abilities in range. Mushi, can he blink away? The mech from Ohio was not enough. He used Wind Run to get here. It could cost him his life on the way out. Not actually the case, but a surge forward. The sleep attempted. Gets fogged. DD can't get it off. And they'll push the base.
Yeah, Mushi was playing so carefully until then, but it's really this ward. He thought he was safe there, but actually not with the smoke that they used. Great smoke by LGD.
Shackle for Ohio, not quite having that Mushi angle just yet. Only finding 2 creeps. Power shot splashes through. And LGD, they'll pop their mech. They've still got a catapult. They want to fight with this. Well, will they tank the tower? It looks like they're trying to keep that catapult alive, but someone's really got to tank these tower shots. They'll do it. They juggle the aggro beautifully. Mushi, 15 seconds on the sidelines. Glyph already still cooling down. Net tracked up. They back him back. They can bring him down here. If they get a stun off, Alk stun's there. Shackle connects. Hit Shao Wei. Mushi's bought back. He was about to respawn for this. Now he comes in. He wants Shao Wei. The nukes are following him, but Shao Wei's still alive. A leap forward from KYXY. The mech popped by the Windrunner. Monovoid already here. Shackle won't connect. Nothing really going Orange's way in this fight. Now Mushi's stunned. Remember, he just bought back. He's going to go down. This is looking bad and worse. KYXY on the run. Gets tracked. He can purge it with the Dark Pact in just a second or two. Will there be another nuke to find him? It won't. He'll go back for Ohio, who was trying to cover his retreat. Ohio's tracked. He'll get out. And Mushi just set himself incredibly far back. Ohio eats another stun mid. He'll fall. This is too many deaths. Too many buybacks. And LGD, that gold
That's
grab
a lot of track gold.
only goes one direction. It goes up.
Oof. Well, they got the T3, although it was denied by the Ogre, so LGD's getting quite a few towers, but I believe both the T2 and the T3 denied by Orange, but they're getting a lot of gold. I mean, it's easily made up by the amount of track goals, and I'm sure they are happy about killing Mushi twice.
And he's going
and forcing that
BKB.
buyback.
He's going BKB. Problem for me is that Alk has gone Assault Cuirass, and now Mushi
just in a right-click war, stands no chance against this Alp. Absolutely not. And Slark can't do it either. Slark just has Black King Bar and Shred, so I mean, there's no way he can be expected to deal the same amount of damage as his Alchemist. That buyback into a death bottom lane really hurt him. KYXY, he hasn't popped Dark Pack. There's your stun. Surprise! Happy birthday. I don't think it's his birthday, though. But Sylar's giving him one anyway. And there's a gem pickup on the left rack too, so this is going to be very bad for the Slark and very bad for any wards that they have out. But they actually only have one on this top place over here. I feel like LGD is in complete control of the map right now. They can easily take Roshan if they decide to do it. They have a great Roche lineup. Sylar, Acid Spray, as well as the Assault Cuirass. It's way too much minus armor. Roche is going to drop in a real hurry. I mean, yeah. And they have the Darkseer for the mech. Again, I'm just really confused about why he went to Ogre Club before the Ultimate Orb. I feel like Sheep is a better choice, and I feel like he should have known that before he bought the Ogre Club. But regardless, he's still doing very, very nice in the wave farm. 1-1-4 on Xiao 8. The one thing for me is I'm a little surprised Mushi got an Ogre Club at all himself. It's sort of the similar thing to Xiao 8. Casual Ogre Clubs? Yeah, he can't fight even with a BKB, and I'm not sure why he thought he'd be able to. They should be trying to win this game by split push, but the rack's under siege. Sylar, a Leap of Latch could find him, but KYXY very nervous to go in on this Alchemist. He's a lot tankier than what you might think. He pops Dark Pack, now he runs away, and they sleep that Slark. Can they actually bring him down? Shackle to fly. Won't connect. Now the Split Earth, however, will hit KYXY. They drive them back with a barrage of nukes. The onslaught continues. There's your multicast, barely tickling the Alk. Mech brings him back into fighting shape, and LGD will back off. Mushi, now he's split pushing. Unfortunately, even after he gets this BKB, he'll still need a Manta. He might need one more at him. They've slept KYXY. They go in now. They absolutely massacre him. Sliced from every direction. Explodes in a cloud of blood, and now the Fiend's Grip Ohio. They are diving the tier 4s. LGD normally not known for this level of aggression. Shackle. Oh, if that was on Sylar, it would have been a 2-hero Shackle. Mushi looks to join the fight. Can he actually do it? KYXY jumps in. But even with the BKB, look at the physical damage output. Mushi slept. Mushi blinks. Slept. Sleep is juggled, but Extinct will sacrifice his own life. Orange Esports. GG any minute. This is just too much death. Too much blood. Brutal. They are done. It ends here. Is way too big at this point. I mean, Anti-Mage just has Treads, Battle Fury, and a measly 10 strength from the Mithril or Mithril Hammer, or in the Ogre Club, but he can't do anything right now. They already have a BKB on Slark, and as you said before, it's not particularly useful, especially versus the mass physical damage output from the Alchemist. And even a Bounty Hunter. Janata is very good DPS, even with just phased drums. Well, I'd say one Janata Strike maybe removes, I don't know, a fifth of Mushi's HP. And also the slow is there to help Alchemist chase you. RNG Sports, they've lost 2 lanes of racks, only 27 minutes in. It's a lot of money at stake in the Dota 2 Super League, even between 3rd and 4th place. So they'll fight till the bitter end. But it's going to be a bitter end, and it's coming soon. LGD, they'll have to suicide the Fountain here to let Orange back into this game. Scythe of Vice completed on the Darkseer, as well as BKB. BKB just a fantastic pickup versus Orange. They really don't have any physical damage right now with the Anti-Mage not having his Black King bar. And again, no Bloodlust by Ogre Magi. I feel like that's why the hero is so strong, is simply because of Bloodlust. Yeah, and he's a melee hero. He's not really the best support in that sense. His slow is very underwhelming. Orange grasping for straws right now, looking for any way to get back into this game. Power Shot will reveal, or rather give up the trick, and now they'll scythe up net, in jumps KYXY. BKB is there, look at the damage on the backside, the Darkseer wall. Too much. RNG Sports overwhelmed, driven back. Ohio's found 2, but it doesn't feel like quite enough. Those heroes will buy back immediately, the Alchemist as well as the Darkseer, and now they'll come back to the Roshan pit. LGD will be hard-pressed to defend. I believe Mushi hit a huge Monovoid, but did miss that myself. I actually didn't. I was watching the top part of the fight, but looks like we have 2 buybacks immediately from the Darkseer and Alchemist, and the 2 heroes from Orange that died are back in just 3 seconds time. There's no wall right now, but Roche is dropping soon. Orange not really in condition to fight. Mushi's going to teleport mid, but he's doing it with minimal mana. He's just gotten full HP. He'll be too late. Roche is going to fall. Aegis onto Sylar. He does delay his item progression, but now they jump in mid. Mushi's gotten sights. He's overextended. He gets Split Earth. No, there you go. Now in trouble. Back, and that's track gold as well. RNG Sports now on the run. This could be their last fight. Shackle connects on 2, but it's only a stalling Shackle. It's only a halt to this push, and RNG Sports, they have been defeated.
They will GG out.
Alchemist too strong. Again, we see this scenario time and time again where teams want to trade safe lane. Oh, looks like KYXY is about to be there. Safe lane Alchemist or any other carry for that matter anti-mage versus an Alchemist, and Alchemist will almost always win out. He'll just get his first big item way faster than you will, and then just force you in a fight, and he'll just constantly lose gold from the fights. And even if Alchemist dies, he just farms like a madman, especially if your supports have been stacked. And he's rising to first pick or first ban material in the Eastern scene, and for good reason.
This was a great series. This last game a little bit deflating, but when you play a best of 5 and it goes 5 games against the kind of competition that LGD China and Orange both present each other, I guess it's somewhat expected that maybe Game 5 won't deliver the way that Games 1 through 4 did. But
it's hard to hold up to Game 4.
Yeah, Game 4. If you missed that game, if you're just tuning in, I highly encourage you to go check out the VOD. It will be up soon after this broadcast on youtube.com/BeyondTheSummit TV. It's free to watch as well. By the way, if you haven't already done so, you should consider getting an Elgato Courier. You can accumulate views for all the games we're casting, be it the Dota 2 Super League, be it the Corsair Cup, or be it the Alienware Cup that's coming tomorrow. Bruno, 2GD, they visited the studio earlier, Lumi as well. DPM's even flown in, so we have people from around the world joining us. We'll be back very soon. I'll be back in just an hour or so at most with the Corsair Cup. Not sure exactly what time it is, actually.